Ladies and gentlemen, today we take not another step towards annihilation, but the first step on the path to peace.
The limits of human control over life has always been a running theme in many areas of pop culture. Common sci-fi concepts deal with the creation of super soldiers through the mutation of DNA and exist in movies like Captain America, where a scrawny kid from Brooklyn is transformed into the leader of the Avengers. The sci-fi first-person shooter video game, Halo, is also based on the concept of super soldiers. However, the portrayal of DNA has not always been about the enhancement of the human body. This concept of human transformation through genetic material has evolved from different representations over time into today's common theme of the manipulation of DNA. Early portrayals of DNA depict monsters to be created whenever humans try and manipulate this field of science. In Jurassic Park, humans are shown to play the role of God in recreating these dinosaurs through fossilized DNA. However, a rogue T-Rex manages to escape and ultimately runs wild, devouring humans and causing chaos as they fail to control their own creation. Another horror movie, The Fly, also shows a monster created by the mutation of DNA. A mad scientist accidentally turns himself into an abomination, and once again, manipulation of DNA is portrayed to the masses as something that is scary and inhumane. As time passes, new themes surrounding the issue of DNA arises. DNA transformation and change becomes portrayed as something desirable and special. This can be attributed to the advancements in DNA technology in the 2000s. At this time, we had done more research into DNA, which also led to the creation of genetically modified food. This new portrayal of DNA in movies can be seen as a way humans try to show mastery over DNA, a relatively new concept in the scientific field. In the 2002 adaptation of Spider-Man, protagonist Peter Parker gains superpowers after getting bitten by a spider. His DNA changes and Peter gets super strength and agility, together with the ability to shoot webs. He then goes on to become a superhero in the Marvel Universe. Likewise, the possession of inheritable traits due to DNA is further portrayed in the popular kids' TV show, Danny Phantom, where the fusing of a young boy's DNA with a ghost results in his transformation into a half-ghost, giving him multiple abilities inclusive of flight, invisibility, and possession and control of other people.
His molecules got all rearranged.
This concept is portrayed in Eastern culture as well. In popular anime series Naruto, members of the Uchiha bloodline possess extraordinary powers through inheriting DNA passed from parent to child. This gives them a particular set of eyes known as a Sharingan. These portrayals have grown to be the most widespread portrayal of DNA due to the pervasiveness of the movie and TV industry. Many of these portrayals are shown in theatres or in television series, which are catered to the masses. As such, more people are exposed to these aspects of DNA as giving ordinary people special traits and powers. The manipulation of DNA for human use first became known to an international audience with the introduction of Dolly the sheep in 1997. Dolly the sheep was the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell, and the success of the experiment made headlines in the news of multiple countries. This was in turn followed by a notable rise in movies revolving around a common central theme: cloning of humans for commercial use. One of the more prominent movies is the 2005 movie The Island. In the film, DNA is represented as a medium for the cloning of humans so as to serve a darker purpose of organ harvesting. DNA here becomes a form of technology that can fulfill the medical needs of humans, but in doing so, it becomes entangled in a whole host of ethical and moral issues as well. Such an issue is also reflected in the popular 2005 dystopian sci-fi novel, Never Let Me Go, by the Nobel Prize-winning author Kazuo Ishiguro. In the novel, students from the School of Hirshham are in fact clones that have been raised for the sole purpose of organ donations to the rest of the human society that are termed natural. Questions regarding the humane treatment of clones are then brought up by the author, who portrays the clones as being distinct human beings with their own unique set of skills and interests. Both of these representations of DNA have been made possible due to the advancements in technology that enable cloning through the manipulation of DNA. Such advancements in technology, despite having obvious benefits to the human society, introduces a whole host of ethical problems as well, and this has in turn become a common theme that has been represented in popular media such as movies and novels. In such a scenario, advancements in technology help shape representations in popular media. In more recent times, DNA is noticed to be represented as a significant part of heritage and culture. While DNA has been important to many bloodlines across generations, Popular culture like music has highlighted the significance of its role, sometimes without much logic. In his song DNA, Kendrick Lamar belts out some bars that portrays traits like royalty and loyalty inside our DNA. It shows us how our DNA makes us connected to others through our bloodline, and in turn, that makes us unique in our own ways. Is loyalty really determined by DNA though?
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA.
DNA as a part of heritage is also exemplified in the popular American TV show Game of Thrones, where the royal Targaryen family is known to have engaged in incest for generations so as to preserve the purity of their royal bloodline. And in this case, it also gives them the ability to withstand fire. So, till now, we have shown how DNA is portrayed in the recreation of monsters and the emergence of superheroes. It is also manipulated by humans and is shown as a big part of heritage. You must be wondering, how does this all relate to marine science? Well, the ocean in the past was relatively unexplored and held so many mysteries, just like the concept of DNA. As time goes by, the sheer vastness and depth of the sea seemed so mysteriously scary, it actually led to its depiction as a source of the scariest and largest of monsters. There seems to be a trend that us humans tend to portray things we don't understand as something scary, doesn't it? Although we have explored different forms of popular culture earlier, it is important to admit that some forms of media hold a greater power over others. Then again, as the years go by, we begin to see how the ocean is also seen as an increasing source of genetic material and information. In the blockbuster movie Pacific Rim, monsters called kaiju emerges from the depths and reign terror over mankind. Yet, these aliens from an alternate dimension also possess DNA which is readable by mankind, showing how widely the concept of DNA is thought to exist, even outside our own dimension. But let's not get too carried away with aliens from outer space. Coming back to our own world's problems, DNA from the ocean is being used by scientists to solve problems such as loss in biodiversity and food scarcity, with new inventions being created and introduced regularly. As marine science and technology continues to advance, who knows what we can achieve using DNA in the future?